What's going on, my guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Garrett with Game by the Beach. Very excited to be here with you today because officially the new update and balancing change has come out and come into the game. You can see it here on the screen. Version 5.1.1 is now available June 21st. We've been asking for all sorts of different changes, okay? Everybody, well, I should say everybody. A lot of people didn't really like the engineer meta because everybody was just playing engineer. People have always disliked Shaman. People really disliked Summoner. They disliked Harlequin. These are cards that I wasn't really sure how to change. And they've always been really strong since the beginning of the game. They've actually taken our advice, listened to us, adjusted some of these legendary cards, and are trying to bring in other cards that weren't as strong in this past season and buffed those cards. So let's do a full breakdown on everything that happened, which is a lot and a lot of different cards, and I'm pretty excited to do that. If you guys are enjoying these videos, make sure that you are subscribing. But without further ado, let's check out what they have to say. I'm loving that they put so much thought and time into all of these descriptions about what happened with the balancing changes. I was going to put a bunch of stuff up on the screen while I talked about it, but it's actually right here in the game. Just go to news and you can read this on your own. However, if you'd rather just listen to me yap about it, you can do that also. So here we go. Meet the balancing changes that come with this game version. Unit changes. So first one, Crystalmancer. So we've had a bunch of Crystalmancer buffs in the past. I've always loved the card. I've talked about this a bunch of times on streams and videos, and yet Crystalmancer has never really found its way into the meta. So maybe this update will actually get it into the meta. Let's see what they did. This unit was effective against slow or single targets with lots of health, but it didn't always have enough time to increase its damage to the required level. Now its damage increases with hits on target by every Crystalmancer. As such, if you have 2 or more of these units, their damage will increase much quicker, and now they'll have a significantly easier time taking down bosses. So that right there was not even part of what the Crystalmancer did in the past. The amount of Crystalmancers that you have on the board, the more you have, the more damage it does. Not just because you have another one, but there's also increasing damage dependent on how many Crystalmancers you have. So that's very exciting. Increased initial damage, not taking the number of hits into account, is 28 to 39. So there's a beautiful little buff right there. I've always loved Crystalmancer. I've said that in the past, so we're definitely going to try him out at the end of this video just to see if he actually is effective or if it's another one of those buffs to a card that isn't that great, that really didn't do enough to get him in the meta. Maybe it's the best card. We have no idea, so we got to try it out. Balancing change number 2, Wind Archer. Here we go. This simple damage-dealing unit was undeservedly forgotten and sidelined by other options considered more effective. It's basically like Walmart Boreas. That's what everyone would usually say. To increase its efficiency in battle, we improved its stats. Initial damage from 20 to 30. I mean, that's actually pretty significant. 20 to 30, it might not look like a big change. They might not have spent a ton of time thinking about what to do with Wind Archer, but that's like pretty significant right there. 20 to 30. We'll have to try it out. That's a really nice buff. Both of those actually are a pretty nice buff for free-to-play players that maybe now you have another opportunity to play a effective deck without Engineer. So that's pretty good. Portal Keeper. So if you guys haven't seen this, I've read through these before, but Portal Keeper, listen up because there were some changes here. This unit allows you to create effective combos on the battlefield, but its damage was low, and the swap places mechanic was becoming less important longer running in the battle. So basically, it was good to set up your board in the beginning, but in late game, it was just kind of a nuisance to have a Portal Keeper on your board because you didn't really need them. Now, after swapping places with the Portal Keeper, a unit gets a shield against negative effects for a short duration. The Portal Keeper becomes inactive for a little time afterward. He cannot deal damage or swap places with other units. Really interesting. So now it gets a shield. It gets a little buff. It's not only swapping places, but it also gets a buff, trying to increase the Portal Keeper's usage rates, which is actually interesting to me because Portal Keeper is used a decent amount in early levels or early trophies with Engineer, and it was used a lot. When you get further, it wasn't used at all. However, since the Blade Dancer came out, the new unit, people were running Portal Keeper in their decks a lot. So it's interesting that they're trying to get the usage rate of that card up even more. As the card levels up, the duration of the shield increases and the interval between units becomes shorter. In between using abilities becomes shorter, sorry. Also, to compensate for the temporary inactivity, we increase the unit's initial damage. So initial damage increases 35 to 56. Initial shield duration is 5 seconds. And the recovery time is 16 seconds. So very, very interesting there. We'll see if there's more of that. It's going to be using that card a little bit different. It's not all about lining up your engineers anymore or moving around your grindstones or hexes or whatever. It's now maybe you can use it super effectively to get a buff or block units from like shamans or something. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to work, but super interesting. But here's the big one. You guys can see it on your screen. Chomping at the bit here. Engineer. One of the most popular units in the game that competes on equal footing with legendary units. Yep. We want other epic units to have a chance against the engineer on the battlefield, so we made the following changes to his stats. So here it is. Damage increase for leveling up is now slightly less efficient. For the max, it's 249. Now it's 240. Okay. Mana power up now increases damage more efficiently, 70 to 75. A little bit. So that was like a buff and a nerf. And then mana power up now increases damage for each connected engineer less efficiently, 4% to 3%. I think that's actually a pretty big nerf right there. Basically what that means is that buff that you get when you line your engineers up is now less effective from 4% to 3% efficiency or whatever it is. So a little bit of a nerf to engineer there. People did want a nerf to engineer. So here you are, nerf to engineer. Let's jump into the legendary units, which we still got a long ways to go, and they actually buffed a lot of these cards. Well, buffed the cards that we don't normally see and nerfed the cards that we do normally see. So pretty cool. Let's keep going. Legendary units, Boreas. This is one of the simplest legendary units to use. It gets a powerful bonus when switching from phase to phase. To emphasize this feature, we made the following changes. Phase 1 now lasts longer in duration increase with level up to 5.8 seconds. Phase 2 now lasts longer and its duration increase with level up to 2.1 seconds. And then the interval for phase activation is now shorter from 6 to 5.5. And now it also decreases with level down to 3.1 seconds. So you guys know how it kind of switches back and forth between like a slow attack speed to like a faster attack speed. It sounds like now they have a longer duration of, well, it sounds like the increased attack speed phase, right? So a little bit of a buff to Boreas, which is actually good. I feel like Boreas was really strong for a long time. It used to just be like Boreas Shaman meta, and that's what everyone played. It was like Engineer and then Boreas Shaman. And then Boreas kind of fell off. Inquisitor came in. All these other cards came in. So people trying to get Boreas back out there. I think it's definitely a unique unit. It has that like little tie because it's an archer, so it might be really good with Jay. And Jay's kind of coming into the meta. So it sounds like, you know, that's probably where they're trying to think about it, right? They want these combinations to come out with the heroes and these legendary units that aren't necessarily used. So I like it. Boreas buff, cool. Harlequin, here we go. This is where we get into some interesting details here. Harlequin, which I didn't even really know how you could nerf it. I love Harlequin. Everybody does. If you have it, you use it. Let's jump in here. This unit allowed you to quickly get a guaranteed copy for any other unit, rapidly increase your field's performance. That meant strong units were improving even faster, and the player received an obvious advantage over the opponent. Correct. Your free-to-play players are like, I know, it's so annoying. Yep. So now to balance this effect slightly, units copied using the Harlequin's ability will have reduced damage. The effect remains until the units are merged into a new one. The effect can also be removed using the Portal Keeper's new shield. So another one that's kind of tied into Portal Keeper. So basically what that means is if you are running an engineer deck and you have a Harlequin and you turn it into another engineer, that engineer, there must be some sort of like a color distinguishing, you know, aesthetic or something. That engineer that was just a Harlequin is going to do less. The only thing I thought of is most people don't play Harlequin like that. Most people will turn a Harlequin into a summoner or a shaman or a demonologist and then spam that unit out to something else. So let's just keep going. Let's read just to see if it answers my question without me going into too much detail. The damage reduction does not apply to the effects that enhance other units or don't deal damage. Okay, so for example, Knight Statue Grindstone, Mana Well, and similar units. So if you're copying Cauldron, like all those examples that I just said, there's no negative effect for copying those. So that's pretty cool. As the card levels up, the weakening effect decreases. Damage reduction of a copied unit at the initial level is 35%. As the unit levels up, the negative effect value is reduced down by 5. So every time you level it up, it'll get down. It will be more effective, so the negative effect will be less and less as you level it up. So my question was, if you're spamming out summoners and demonologists and whatever, priestesses or whatever, is it just that copy that gets the negative effect? Because if I turn it into a summoner and then I merge those summoners out, technically isn't that a summoner and a summoner merging rather than a summoner and a Harlequin merging? So with that unit that now turned into an engineer, is that unit going to have that negative effect? We're going to have to find out. I don't think it does. It sounds like as soon as you merge it again, the negative effect is gone. But I'm not 100% sure. So that's definitely something we're going to try out. We're definitely going to put it in our deck just to see how this goes. But people have been begging for a Harlequin nerf for a long time. Here we go. We got one. So we're going to see what... I feel like a lot of people who are high in trophies are really not going to like this change. You know, it's just such it's a card that's just in every deck, and everyone's become so accustomed to using it and understanding it. And now a little bit of mystery. I think a little bit of mystery is good. I like it. But top players are probably a little frustrated that now they're going to... I don't know. They might have to find a different combination, right? It's not just going to be Harlequin Summoner every time. Summoner just got nerfed in the last update. I didn't really notice that big of a change, but it did just get nerfed. So Summoner Dryad or Harlequin Dryad is, you know, maybe it's going by the wayside now. Demonologist, this one's awesome. This unit serves both as mana source in co-op and as a way to grind down your opponent with additional monsters in PvP. To strengthen its role on the battlefield, we made the following changes. A summoner monster can no longer be instantly killed by Hex or Reaper's ability. You guys might think that's a very specific thing, but I know I've played Demonologist a lot, and if I ever go up against a Hex, you're pretty much going to lose. Because you can just they instant kill your Demonologists, which is really frustrating. So now that's no longer possible. Executioner will take it out still, but not Reaper and not Hex, which is big. They've buffed Demonologist like 4 times now. And I always thought that was weird that they could instant kill it, because technically a Demonologist was a mini boss. So I don't know why the Reaper was able to take it out, but I digress. The speed and health of summoners of the summoned monsters have increased, and the mana generation is now twice as efficient. Love that. Okay, I'm definitely playing Demonologist. You get more mana. The monsters are quicker, and they don't lose to instant kill units, even though that's, you know, a very specific, situation. But love that. Okay, so here we go. Last 2 things, and these 2 are some of the big ones here. So Inquisitor. Changes made recent impaired this unit too strongly and significantly reduced its performance. To increase its efficiency, we decided to make the following changes. The number of Inquisitors needed on the battlefield to activate their additional ability was changed from 149. I don't know why I'm stammering all over my... to 14710. So it's no longer 149. Now it's 14710. I don't think that was really a necessary change, but it makes it a little bit different. Fine. They did that with like Knight Statue as well. It was like 397 or something, and now it's all even numbers, whatever. The mana power up now increases damage more efficiently. So I'm wondering if they just kind of went back to what they had. Okay, they nerfed it, and I'm sure they thought they just nerfed it too much. People just really didn't like how much it was nerfed. So the area damage was increased. So now we're doing more AoE like before. And as you power it up, mana power up, it's also going to be doing more damage. So I'm assuming Inquis is back. And now you can get to 10 Inquises. It's not just, okay, go from 1, go to 4, go to 9. Everybody who played Inquis could do that in their sleep. Now you can go 1, 4, and then you try for 7, try for 10, and you can kind of... It's pretty cool. That's definitely a buff, because sometimes you can't get to 9 that easily, and you're at like 8, and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? I can't get an extra one. It's really hard to get one more than just like revert back to a few more. So like rather than going all the way back to 4, now you can just go to 7. So really, really cool right there. And last one, we'll discuss it while we jump into a game here. Shaman. One of the most discussed units in the game, highly effective in both co-op and PvP. One lucky shot can sometimes decide the outcome of an entire battle. To give players more time to make decisions, we changed the travel speed of the projectiles, travel time, PvP, to 1.85 to 2.1 seconds, which this is the deck I just made. Let's jump into a PvP battle just for fun and talk about Shaman. 1.85 to 2.1 seconds. It's not going to do anything. It's not. So I'm glad they're nerfing Shaman. I'm glad they're trying to figure out why, why people hate it, and they're trying to listen to us, and they're trying to do that. I don't think anyone's been like, I hate Shaman. The Shamans come down and they're too fast. Nobody's saying that, right? They're complaining that there's always lag. They're complaining that it always takes away a unit. You can't get your feet under you when you're playing against this type of an opponent. A slow, yeah, maybe you can merge, but like the problem I run into very often against Shaman is early on in the game, it's not that I'm too slow to merge. I can merge speed-wise pretty easily, but I either don't have another unit that I can merge with it when a Shaman comes down, or there's lag, so I didn't even have a chance to merge it anyway. So the speed really wouldn't matter, I don't think. So let me know what you guys think of these balancing changes. Demonologist sounds really cool. I'm gonna really try out Crystalmancer, see what happens. I'm gonna do all these different things. I really like him. We're definitely gonna try out Inquisitor at some point. Super excited about that, and it should be really, really interesting. But let me know what you guys think about all the changes and Shaman, because do you think it's enough? Maybe it's a big change. Maybe you guys will be like, no, that's great. Like, let's try and do it. But let's try and do this game. So let's see what the effect looks like. So look at that. So there's like a little like Harlequin thing there. We're going to do another one. So let's see if that Harlequin thing goes away when I merge it. It does. Okay. So as soon as you do a merge after you use Harlequin, the effect goes away. But pretty interesting. Okay. I like it. I like it. It's definitely a nerf. I don't think it's going to affect too many people from using Harlequin. I really don't. But I definitely like it. I'll take it. I'll take it any day of the week. We're going to have to try Crystalmancer. Oh, okay. Crystalmancer ramped up pretty quick right there. That was actually significant. Let's just keep merging out rank 1 units. I'm going to try and do some Demonologists, either wave 2 or 3, but let's level some stuff up. Oh, we got Tribunal coming up. So, just do that. Give us a little bit of mana. We're going to get our whatchamacallit up. Alchemist. Don't know why that word was not in my vocabulary for a second. Let's just do this a little bit, because we're having a little bit of trouble. And I think we'll be okay. We got a minute. Let's go down here. We're going to have to like merge out all our units at some point. Yeah, let's just do this for right now. And we should be fine. Get our Crystalmancer up to max. I didn't even realize it was already going to be at max. But obviously we're going up against a pretty strong deck. This guy's running the Portal Keeper. We should try and keep an eye out for when he does things with Portal Keeper and see if it actually seems significant because of that in that nerf. But guys, they went through like 10 units. I don't know exactly how many units, but they went through like 10 units, buffing, nerfing, changing. You know, it's not all about giving someone damage, taking damage away. Some of the cards need a rework. Harlequin got a little bit of a rework. Portal Keeper got a little bit of a rework. Pretty cool in my eyes. Pretty cool in my eyes. Let's see if we can just merge out a little bit to just do that. Okay. Kind of weird, but let's just do some Harlequins here. But it looks like Crystalmancer's doing a pretty good job. Can we take it out? How many? Oh, we only got like a handful of Crystalmancers. Come on. Whew, it does ramp up pretty good. I definitely feel like Crystalmancer is stronger. I really, really do. So now let's try and hold on for a little while here. And maybe we can use some of our summoners in a bit here for some actual effectiveness here. We can do this. Do that. Let's do another one. Let's get our thing all the way up here. Let's do that. We'll go here. Go there. We've got too many of these units. What can we do there? Ooh, that was really close. Do we have any more demonologists? Nope. Let's do another one here. Another alchemist. I mean, our board looks okay. 23 seconds. Let's Snowflake now. Give Crystalmancer a chance to try and take somebody out here. And we're actually holding on decently well. Five seconds. Do we have any rank 4? Anything cool? No. So let's see what we can do here. I'm going to do this. Okay, that actually really helped. 700 to go through. Crystalmancer's doing pretty well. This deck is actually really fun. We're going up against a really strong deck right now, and we're holding our own. We got 1,500 mana. I really think because Demonologist was doing so much work in that wave. We sent so many Demonologists his way. And yeah, he took them all out, but every time he killed one, it gives us mana. So I will take that any day of the week. Let's see what we can do. We can go... I'm going to go up here. We've got a summoner we can use. I'm digging for some rank 2 demonologist. We're not finding an uh-oh. Well, he took a hit. We don't have anything cool right now. We're falling off. We're falling off. Uh-oh. Can I get a little something? Can I get a little something? Snowflake. I think we're going to lose. I think we're going to lose. No. Oh, well, there's an L. That's too bad. Level 8 Blade Dancer. Check the stats. Nothing too crazy. 12.3. Crystalmancer did 4 million. So, what do we think about Crystalmancer? I think it ramped up pretty quick. Maybe I could utilize something like having a chemist in there also. I feel like Demonologist was pretty strong too. But that was pretty cool. I mean, I think that was a pretty good showing on some of the new stuff. Mana definitely was an improvement from Demonologist. Harlequin, we definitely saw the little insignia that says that it's not a copy. And if you merge it out again, it turns into something perfectly normal. Pretty cool right there. Anything else? Crystalmancer damage, Harlequin, Demonologist. Yeah. Let me know what you guys think of the changes, and are you happy about some? Are you mad about some? What decks do you think are going to be really good in this meta? But that's going to be the end of this YouTube video, guys. And if you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll check you guys out in tomorrow's video.